Mayor, it's 5:40 and we've, oh, you can't hear me over this.
All right, good evening. We're going to get started. If you can please take your seats. All right. Sorry for the delay in getting started. All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the January 6th, 2025 regular City Council meeting. If the clerk can call the roll.
Of course, Councilmember Burt.
Here.
Councilmember Koo. Here. Vice Mayor Lowing.
Here.
Councilmember Lithcott-Haynes.
Here.
Mayor Stone.
Here.
Councilmember Tanaka.
Here.
Councilmember Vinker.
Here.
For the record, all present.
Wonderful. Thank you. And appreciate it. It's always nice to be able to. Thank you. Always nice to be able to fill the chamber, see so many friendly faces. Also nice to be able to welcome so many current and former elected leaders around the room. There are many of you. And we're already a little bit behind, but one thing I'd love to do to be able to honor our current and former electeds, if you are one of those, if you wouldn't mind standing up so we can all acknowledge you and give you a round of applause. So please, current and former electeds, please stand up. Okay, so this is a ceremonial meeting. We're going to have the city clerk swear in our newly elected council members. Then the city council is going to select its mayor and vice mayor for 2025 and express its appreciation for its outgoing mayor and council members. And then we'll invite the entire community to join us for a reception in the back when we are done. Okay, so we're going to now welcome the incoming council members to the dais, and our outgoing council members will join the audience, but we'll call you up later for your resolutions.
Actually, Mayor, we'll do the swearing in first, and then we'll do the switching of the seats.
Okay, let's do the swearing in first.
So it is my honor to call up Mr. Pat Burt. If you would please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States,
the Charter of the City of Palo Alto,
Charter of the City of Palo Alto,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States,
to the Constitution of the United States,
the Charter of the City of Palo Alto,
Charter of the City of Palo Alto,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will and faithfully
and that I will and faithfully
discharge the duties which I am about to enter.
discharge the duties of which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Councilmember Burt, I have a signature for you up here.
What am I signing up for? Thank you.
It is now my honor to call up Mr. George Liu. And it is the same as we've just done, so if you could please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States,
the Charter of the City of Palo Alto,
the Charter of the City of Palo Alto,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States,
to the Constitution of the United States,
the Charter of the City of Palo Alto,
the Charter of the City of Palo Alto,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties which I am about to enter.
discharge the duties of which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It is now my honor to call up Mr. Keith Reckdahl.
Okay, very good.
Okay, we've
Okay.
done this 2 times now.
Okay,
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States,
the Charter of the City of Palo Alto,
the Charter of the City of Palo Alto,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States,
to the Constitution of the United States,
the Charter of the City of Palo Alto,
the Charter of the City of Palo Alto,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties which I am about to enter.
discharge the duties about which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, last but not least, my honor to call up Mr. Gerstone.
Embarrassing. Okay, this is more my size.
Okay, so if you would please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States,
the Charter of the City of Palo Alto,
the Charter of the City of Palo Alto,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear full faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States,
to the Constitution of the United States,
the Charter of the City of Palo Alto,
the Charter of the City of Palo Alto,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties which I am about to enter.
discharge the duties that I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay. And now at this time, we will call up our new council members, Reckdahl and George Liu. And we will have council members Tanaka and Ku rejoin us later for their proclamations. So welcome council members Reckdahl and council member Liu. Okay, so again, congratulations to our new members. Our first action this evening is going to be the election of the 2025 mayor. Before we begin and officially pass the torch, I do just want to briefly thank my council colleagues again for both the opportunity to be able to serve as your mayor in 2024, the trust that you've instilled in me, and the partnership that we've had. Special thanks to Vice Mayor Ed Lowing for your friendship and partnership during this year. All of our city staff, both our CAOs, but also all staff that makes this organization run, our ability to effectuate our policies and make this such an incredible city to live in is thanks to the hard work that all of you do. Big thanks to my family, especially my wife, Adriana, for your patience and all the times that I had to leave. Can you give a little wave so we can all thank you personally? Hey, here she is. And most importantly, to the residents of Palo Alto and this entire community, it has truly been the honor of my life to be able to serve as the mayor in the city that I grew up in, that gave me so much. I will never forget this year and all of you, and I'm again grateful as well for you giving me your trust again and reelecting me for another 4 years to be able to continue to serve you on this dais for another 4 years. So thank you to all of you. So now we'll proceed with the election for mayor of 2025, and we will proceed as follows. First, I'm going to collect nominations from council members for the position of mayor. A council member can nominate themselves or have another council member nominate them. No second is required, and since we do have 7 council members present, we will only need 4 for the election. After collecting the nominations, I will invite people to speak in the following order. The council member who made the nomination may speak. Council members who are then nominated may speak. After that, any other council member may comment, and then we will turn it over to the public for 2 minutes of public comment. All right, and then we will take the vote. So with that, I will open it up for nominations. And Councilmember Vinker.
I am very pleased to nominate Vice Mayor Ed Lowing to be the next mayor of the city of Palo Alto.
Vice Mayor Lowing, do you accept the nomination?
Thank you very much, Councilmember Minker. And, I just love working every day with our citizens, have for many years. And with this set of characters up here to just constantly move the ball forward on getting this great place, even better. And to have the opportunity to leverage my background and skills into the mayor's role would be a phenomenal experience for myself and I hope for the city. So yes, I accept the nomination.
And Councilmember Vinker, would you like to speak to your nomination?
Yes, I would. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Not only is it the tradition in our city that the vice mayor becomes mayor the following year, but also Vice Mayor Lowing is a leader as demanded by this position, and he is ready to assume this role. I am confident that he will do a great job. The mayor has a number of responsibilities that are distinct from those of other council members. Along with the vice mayor and the city manager, the mayor sets council agendas, determining what we do and when we do it. Vice Mayor Lowing has been sitting in the weekly agenda planning meetings with Mayor Stone throughout the last year and has seen firsthand the various considerations that must be weighed and balanced as we move through our annual work plan and as we react to changing environments and circumstances. Together with Mayor Stone, Vice Mayor Lowing exhibited flexibility, judgment, and balance as agendas were set this year. Second, the mayor should run meetings in a productive, focused, and inclusive manner. In reflecting on this, I was surprised to realize that for all the meetings that the vice mayor and I have attended together, neither of us was the chair. Nonetheless, I am confident that you, Vice Mayor Lowing, will do this well. We heard last year that you were chosen as chair 5 times in the 13 years that you served on our Parks Commission and our Planning and Transportation Commission. I'm pretty sure that means you were chosen twice by a few of those commissioners. Regardless, that is a really sound endorsement. And it fits with my observations of how you conduct yourself in meetings. While not taking yourself too seriously, you take the work seriously. You stay on task and listen respectfully to colleagues, staff, and the public. You are unfailingly polite, prepared, and attentive. And I appreciate that you also keep an eye on the clock, encouraging us to move to closure when our conversation gets a little sidetracked. Third, the mayor makes appointments to various committees, governmental bodies, and entities, and you have the right blend of decisiveness and humility to do this well. You listen first, but your principled rather than political approach will lead to good decisions in the best interests of this city, rather than that of yourself or any of us. Finally, the mayor is our political leader, looked to by our residents, other governmental entities, and people outside our city as our spokesperson and representative. Vice Mayor Lowing's years as CEO of several companies and service on public boards has shown and honed these leadership skills. I also admire his firm but gentle style, sense of decorum, and the touch of humor that he brought to the vice mayor role. Vice Mayor Lowing has done an admirable job serving the city this year, and I have enjoyed serving on this council while he was the vice mayor. While we have a wealth of talent on this dais, promoting Vice Mayor Lowing to mayor tonight is the right move. I hope my colleagues will join me in voting for him. Thus, in anticipation of a great year for our city, it is my pleasure to nominate Vice Mayor Lowing to become the next mayor of the city of Palo Alto. Thank you.
I should wait until if there's any other nominees.
Any other nominations? Seeing none, I'll return to Vice Mayor Lowing. If there are any other comments you'd like to make in accepting the nomination.
I think I will wait till after the vote and then make some comments.
That's good.
Thank you, Mayor.
And any other council members? Councilmember Burt.
Thank you. So thanks to Councilmember Vinker for those very thoughtful comments, and I really concur with them. Having known Ed, or Vice Mayor Lowing, for many years, it's really striking that his commitment has been to our community. And it's not for himself, it is to be of service to all of us. And in the same note, when we elect a mayor to lead us for the coming year, that mayor is representing the council as a whole. And it's really a pleasure to have the confidence that that's what Vice Mayor Lowing will do as mayor. That we often will see that we all come to this body with our own values and sense of priorities. But we look for the mayor to really focus on the priorities of the collective of the council and to help lead us and the city staff in fulfilling those priorities. And I know that with great confidence that that's the focus of Vice Mayor Lowing. And he does things in a way that is objective and thoughtful and non-political. And I think that those are all traits that really serve not only our council, but our community well. So I look forward to the next year of service with you. Council member, where we at here? Rectal.
Okay, yes. Yeah, I've had the pleasure of working with Ed for a long time. 12 years ago, when I joined Parks and Rec, he was the chair. And when I joined the Housing Element, he was the chair. And when I joined PTC, he was the chair. I see a pattern here. As I join council, he hopefully will be the next mayor. So Ed has a lot of experience leading, but it's just not the fact that he has experience, but it's how he led. and Councilmember Burt mentioned this, it wasn't about him. It was about the commission, and he would work to make sure that everyone's voice was heard above his own, and that really impressed me. And so I look forward to voting for you, and I look forward to you serving as mayor. Thank you.
Councilmember Lithcott-Hames.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Maybe the last time I say that. It's been a pleasure. I am delighted to support Vice Mayor Lowing for mayor. In the many years that he has served our city on the Parks and Recreation Commission, on Planning and Transportation, he has also served in leadership roles, as we've heard. He's served on numerous committees and numerous working groups, and now has been our vice mayor. It is simply quite fitting and only fitting that you would ascend to this utmost position of city service. What I've most appreciated about you, Vice Mayor, in the 2 years we've known each other is your formidable analytical mind, your frank and clear observations, cutting through the mud and the muck to get at what's what, and also your wry sense of humor, as well as your kindness. And I'm also grateful for your friendship. I'm delighted to support you in ascending to this position.
Councilmember Loop.
Thank you, Mayor Stone. Vice Mayor Lowing, you are rigorous, thoughtful, and empathetic. You have always been there to serve the community with dedication and distinction, and you'll be an excellent mayor.
Well, and of course, I'll be supporting my good friend and partner, Vice Mayor Lowing for mayor. Ed, you've been just a wonderful partner as my vice mayor, best I could have hoped for. I really felt like it was a true partnership throughout the year. We were able to both I think especially really help plan our agendas in a way that got us out of here at reasonable times. And we had a nice little roll at the end there, getting out sometimes even before 10 p.m. So I think that was a good partnership. I'm expecting you to continue that. So no pressure. But I supported Ed last year for vice mayor because of your deep level of experience as Councilmember Rectal already talked about. So I know right away you are going to be ready to handle every single aspect of this job from the moment that I hand that gavel over to you. So it has been a complete pleasure and honor to be able to work with you this year as vice mayor. I can't wait to be able to serve with you as mayor in 2025. All right. With that, then, we will then go to public comment. Do we have any public commenters? And 2 minutes.
Our first speaker is Sergio L.
Thank you. Sergio Lopez. I'll try to be efficient. Thank you, outgoing former Mayor Stone, for your service. Congratulations, I'm sure soon about to be Mayor Lowing, and congratulations to the new members of the council, my friends on the council, and thank you, council members Koo and Tanaka, for your service. I have the honor of serving as mayor of Campbell, and I'm also the newest chair of the Valley Transportation Authority, VTA. And I'm here because, in part, because we're trying to be much more present in South and tonight in North County with our public outreach, community work. And there's a lot of important work that we're doing in the city of Palo Alto, from the Palo Alto Station revitalization to grade separation. And I'm here as a partner and support. I've had the honor of working very closely with, of course, Councilmember Burr, our past chair, who has taught me a lot and brought me in. But I'm here for staff, for council members, for members of the community as well, as a resource and to listen, because you are the experts on your community, and we're here to support your leadership and green energy, transit, all the things that you're doing. So thank you all. Sure.
Our next speaker is Aram J.
Okay, Avram Finkelstein here. I dissent. Louis Brandeis, the first Jew on the Supreme Court, said the most important person in government is an individual private citizen. I don't believe that Ed Lowing is qualified to be our mayor. I call him Ed Israel First Lowing. No doubt, as custom has it, this crowd will heap praise on Ed. Even those like Vicky Venker and Julie Lithcott Haynes, who he jumped over last year, using and exercising his white male Jewish privilege. Both Julie and Vicky spent a year and were elected at the same time as Ed, and they were heads and shoulders above him every night of the first year they were on council. But Ed chose to jump over them again, using his white male Jewish privilege. His claim of being a feminist were put to the test. He failed and exposed himself as a hypocrite. Both outshined him every night. Julie put out every single week, or at least almost every single week, a long and detailed informational sheet to her constituents about what was going to be on council's agenda. Not once did I see Ed do that. Vicky was also super prepared. One is a Harvard law grad, the other a Georgetown grad. Julie, a book, a New York Times bestseller list. Vicky, unbelievably a rock star on so many levels, a great lawyer, mediator, etc. But here's the key point. Not once did I see Ed Lowing speak to the pain of the Palestinian people. I checked out his website, Beth Am, every single person on there, vile Zionists, don't support for a second a free state for the
Your time is up.
people. Thank you.
So, and Madam Clerk, just before we move on, I think this council and the listening public have had to sit through many hate-filled public comments, anti-Semitic comments, especially from this speaker meeting after meeting. Of course, the First Amendment protects someone's right to say some of these horrific things, but I want the public to be made aware that where the First Amendment might tolerate your vile rhetoric, I personally find it disgusting. I want to condemn it, and that the city of Palo Alto is really a place of tolerance and respect for people of all faiths and backgrounds. Vice Mayor Lowing is an incredible person. There's enough hate in this world. We don't need it here in this chamber or in this city. Let's continue with the next speaker.
Our final speaker is Yan Z.
Good evening. I'm Yan Zhao, former mayor, City of Saratoga, and council member. First, I'd like to congratulate Keith George for being elected, and also like to congratulate Mayor Stone and Councilmember Burt to being re-elected. And I just want to I'm here to support Vice Mayor Long to be elected as the next mayor, and also looking forward to working with all of you in the coming years. So thank you. And also, before I forget, I also like to thank Councilmember Lydia Cole and Ku, and also Greg Tanaka for their 8 years dedication and service to the city of Palo Alto. So thank you.
That concludes public comment on item 1.
Great. Thank you. With that, we will take the vote. And since there's only one candidate, is it going to be a verbal vote?
Correct. Since there's only one nomination, we'll do it by verbal roll call.
All right.
All right. For nomination for Councilmember Lowing as mayor for 2025. Councilmember Lithcott Haynes.
Yes.
Councilmember Vinker.
Yes.
Councilmember Rectal.
Yes.
Councilmember Burt.
Yes.
Councilmember Lowing.
Yes.
Councilmember Stone.
Yes.
Councilmember Liu.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. First of all, obviously to my colleagues who I've really enjoyed working with in the last 2 years, and two of the new ones, which I've worked with, as you know, one of them a long time, and look forward to working with the new one a long time as well. It's going to be quite an honor to lead this spectacular city. I also like to thank Mayor Stone for his really, really strong year of leadership. You faced some really difficult challenges and you stepped up and you executed, and we just kind of kept going. So I really think you did a heck of a job. And of course, very loudly, I want to thank the residents of this city who put me on this dais to begin with, so that I could serve you every day that I get up and go to work. I really appreciate that privilege. As I said before, I just like to get things done. I will just work indefatigably for you in the next year. You know, I've lived here for about 38 years. My wife, Claire, grew up here. I think she was a few months short of being a native because she was born in a military hospital before she came here. It's where we raised our 3 great kids. 2 were instrumental in my campaign. Son Ben over there is one of my campaign managers, and as was Jacob, who is watching online from LA, where he lives tonight. They're just instrumental and so supportive to have a sort of a family business that was a campaign to give me this privilege to serve you. And the third, my daughter Sarah, who's here, I think holding one of her children right in the back row. She and her husband in the row in front of her surprised the heck out of us about a year ago by being able to move back to Palo Alto. And we're delighted about that. And of course, now they've given us 2 grandchildren who are both there. There's Naomi looking around for Grandpa, and Aviv in the back. And they will ultimately be 3rd generation Palo Alto School District children. So the Lador Vador, the generations go on and on. So becoming the new mayor tonight is just a wonderful family event. Now, I do want to make a few more comments about kind of how we go forward, but I think for everyone's benefit, we should figure out the other half of this team. So I'd like to go ahead and do the vice mayor nominations and vote. And then at the end, we're just going to revert to a few comments, and then we'll move to public comment and then to the reception. So let's move to that now, City Clerk. The framework is there's a lot of cheat sheets up here tonight. The format is exactly the same as it was for mayor. So we're going to proceed to the collection of nominations from council members for the position of vice mayor. Council members can nominate themselves or another council member. No seconds required, 7 council members present, 4 votes are required for election. So we'll look for nominations, and I see my light is on, but that means that former Mayor Stone is sitting there. So former Mayor Stone.
Thank you, Mayor Lowing. It's a nice ring to it.
First one said that.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to. All right. Well, it is my distinct honor to be able to nominate Councilmember Vicky Vinker for the position of Vice Mayor. Vicky has demonstrated unwavering dedication to our city, combining thoughtful leadership with a deep commitment to public service. Her expertise in bringing people together, her focus on collaboration have really been instrumental in addressing the challenges and opportunities facing our community. Vicky's track record reflects her passion for equity, sustainability, and economic vitality. She approaches every issue with diligence, fairness, and this real solutions-oriented mindset that inspires confidence in me, and I know all of us. I have no doubt that Vicky will bring that same professionalism, integrity, and vision to the role a vice mayor as she has been able to show throughout her tenure on this council. And I know one kind of story with Council Member Vinker that I just really appreciated, because I really think it made such a critical difference in this challenging year, was the work that you did with me on the unity statement and using those skills as a mediator to be able to bring people with very, very different viewpoints in a room, and to be able to moderate that conversation in the respectful way that you did, and was allow us to get to a position where we're able to then pass that unity statement. I think really then reflect on those true values that we hold as a community, and rejecting hate really is a testament to your leadership and your character. And that is the person I know who's going to be able to be such an important partner for our new mayor. So it's for these reasons that I proudly nominate Councilmember Vicky Vinker, as well as my friend, to serve as vice mayor in 2025.
Do we have an acceptance?
We do.
Okay, thank you. Any other nominations? Okay, no further lights. So would other council members besides the nominator like to comment on the nominee, or do you want to make a statement first? Okay, fine.
Well, I would, because I would, first of all, like to thank you so much, former Mayor Stone. It is a little too soon for me to say Council Member Stone. I'll get used to that, but I am extremely honored and humbled by your nomination and your kind words. You have current firsthand knowledge of both the responsibilities and the demands upon vice mayor and mayors in this city. So it is with particular gratitude that I accept your nomination. I have to say that serving on this council is a joy. Just this year, I had the pleasure of serving as liaison to the Parks Commission, judging at the chili cook-off, pulling raffle numbers at the luncheon for the Friends of the Palo Alto Libraries, and speaking next to Mayor Stone at the health fair. And what I want to say is that has really allowed me to look into the heart of this city and to revel in the people who are in it. Thus, stepping up to serve in an additional way as vice mayor would be a true pleasure. And I believe that my skills and experience are both consonant with and complementary to those of Mayor Lowing, and that does sound pretty good. In addition to council, we have served together on finance, policy and services, and rail committees, and in all 4 venues, we often have both the same questions and observations after reading the staff report, which makes it real easy for the person who goes second. We have a lot less questions to ask. We also share a desire for fair and efficient meetings where we share the air and focus on the task at hand. But possibly most valuable, we know how to disagree with each other. And that may sound like a strange thing to say, but I have always truly valued that when we have different views, we can talk it through with curiosity and respect. Sometimes we then agree, and sometimes we don't. But we always come away with a better sense of understanding and leave the conversation with a positive working relationship. And Mr. Mayor, I truly appreciate that.
Good. We'll do it.
2025 will be an unpredictable year. It is safe to say that there will be a lot of change, but it is unclear exactly what that will look like and what impact it will have on cities generally and Palo Alto specifically. We will need to be ready and nimble in our response, keeping a watchful eye on policymaking in our nation's capital and in Sacramento to ensure that we are ready to protect our city's resources and rights. Federal grant dollars, climate and environmental policies, AI and privacy policies, housing laws and dollars. These are only some of the things that we need to monitor as we set our own council priorities and create policies to implement them here in Palo Alto. I spoke about the ways that I am in sync with Mayor Lowing, but I believe that we also bring complementary skills and experience that would make us a strong team. In addition to being a sounding board and a backup, in this year when external factors affecting our city are more unpredictable than usual, I'm in a good position to keep an eye on policy changes. In both my role as Palo Alto's Commissioner for the Northern California Power Agency and as Director and Vice Chair of the Bay Area Air Quality Management District, I'm frequently briefed and stay current on state and federal climate policy making. Last year, I made advocacy trips with both groups to Washington, where we met with members of the congressional delegation, White House staff, executives in the Department of Transportation, Energy, et cetera. And I will likely do that again this year, which will help me keep abreast of any threats to Palo Alto's programs, as well as potential new synergies with those agencies. This past year, I had the privilege of chairing our city's climate committee and continuing our climate leadership at a rate that our residents expect and that the climate crisis demands will require real-time awareness, advocacy, and adjustments to state and federal policymaking in 2025, and I can help with that. In addition, I'm pleased to continue to serve on the executive committee of the Peninsula Division of the California League of Cities, where I am the Santa Clara County Chair for the Legislative Action Committee. I also sit on the Cal Cities Public Safety Committee, which will allow me to keep current and advocate on issues like local retail theft, an issue that unfortunately affected this city just in the last few days. And I will continue to support and help plan sibling cities, town halls, where we hear directly from you, our residents, on issues of import. These are co-sponsored by the city, and recent topics include housing, climate, voter access, and race and belonging. And several members of the amazing team that put those town halls on are here tonight, and I want to thank them for their commitment to public discourse in our city. And of course, I invite representatives of other cities to join in if you'd like. I look forward to working with the 2025 council as we welcome two new strong members, Councilmember Liu and Councilmember Reckdahl. 2025 is going to require smarts, strategy, and innovation, which are qualities that our city is known for. Under the leadership of Mayor Lowing and this council and our engaged staff and residents, I am confident that we will not just navigate 2025, but in a year, we are going to be in a better place and stronger. It would be a privilege to serve alongside Mayor Lowing as your vice mayor to help make that happen. Thank you.
Other council members might make a comment. Ms. Lithcott-Hames.
I'll take it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and welcome to the role. Look forward to serving with you. I'll open by saying, well, it's about time. I think a lot of people in the room are so delighted to see you ascend to this position, Councilmember Vinker. You are a nationally recognized voice. You are a regionally prominent leader. You almost became our assemblywoman in 2016, but you were edged out by our friend and colleague, Mark Berman. So we were fortunate that you decided, after much introspection, I'm sure, to train your sights on serving at a local level. The residents of our great city agreed. You were the top vote getter in a very competitive election in 2022. And as a council member, you've proven you belong not just on this dais, but in a leadership position. For those who may not know, Councilmember Vinker was a chemistry major, and Councilmember Vinker is a patent lawyer and is a mediator. And I need to tell you what that means is no detail gets overlooked, no argument is left unmade, and no potential for compromise is ever overlooked. I want to thank you, and particularly for your taking us over the finish line with the Cubberley deal with the city, with the school district this fall. We could not have pulled that off without the school district represented here ably by their former president, perhaps others, but Councilmember Vinker, truly grateful for the questions you asked and helping us get to yes. As your colleague, as your seatmate this year, I watch, I listen, I admire, and I continually have to ask myself, as I'm sure her husband Tim does, where does she find the time? You are constantly at the work of it with your brain and heart in this beautiful dance of dedication. I think I admire so much about you, and not the least of which is your tremendous pride in your family. Tim, Faith, and Hope are so fortunate to call you theirs. And I know that they are all inspired by your leadership as they each embark on their own important journeys of service. So with that, my friend and seatmate, I will miss you, assuming we're not sitting next to each other, but boy, am I excited to support this nomination of Vicki Vinker for Vice Mayor of Palo Alto.
Councilmember Burt.
Thank you. Well, perhaps everything's been said, but not everyone has said it. So I will just really support the comments that have already been made and add to it that Councilmember Vinker is just tireless in her commitment to this job and the service to this community. She brings her life experiences, her professional experiences, and now her 2 years of experience on the council to helping lead this council going forward. And I really look forward to your service here. Thank you.
Let's see, that'd be Councilmember Liu, I think. No, Keith, Councilmember Tanaka. These lights are all not
You
adjusted.
Rosetta Stone here.
Yeah,
yes.
recto.
Yeah, I feel like I'm saying me too, but I do strongly support Councilmember Vinker. She's a very strong candidate. She has a wide variety of experience. She's very capable, incredibly capable. She's well-known, well-liked, and she'll make an excellent vice mayor. Thank you.
Councilmember Liu.
Councilmember Vinker, you have done incredible work on this body and regional bodies. You've grown this profile of our city through sibling cities. You've brought so many voices to the table locally. You, alongside Mayor Lowing, will be an excellent team to make us a stronger city and a stronger region. I'm very excited for you to serve as vice mayor.
I just want to add that I'm highly supportive of Councilmember Vinker as my new partner. And first, I would like to say that, you know, with this much combined Midwestern work ethic from Indiana and Illinois, we're going to tear it up. So you guys.
Now with Keith and Julie.
Oh, that's right. And we got Keith too. So.
And Julie.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, Wisconsin. I forgot about Wisconsin. So we're going to tear it up and the rest of you better keep up. Having said that, I'm a very high energy guy, but this woman, she doesn't even need sleep and I need sleep. So you might be a little bit ahead of me on that, but I think it's going to be a great year. And I think this completes a very strong team. So I'm highly supportive. And with that, if there are no other comments, we'd like to go to a vote. Madam Clerk. Oh, sorry, public comments. Sorry.
Our first speaker is Jennifer D.
Happy New Year. I just want to quickly first congratulate and thank our outgoing city council members for all the work they did and our outgoing mayor for your work over the past year, and congratulate the incoming city council members. Really excited that you're going to be there doing the work this year. I think I have an easy task ahead of me to say I am speaking in support of Councilmember Vinker becoming vice mayor. I have really enjoyed working with you over the past several years in many capacities, not the least of which over the past year, some conversations
conversations over Cubberley, and I really appreciate your mediation skills coming out in that work. As has been said by so many, Councilmember Vinker has done tremendous work locally, regionally, statewide, and I didn't know nationally, over to DC for you. I'm really excited for the two of you to work together. Mayor Lowing, congratulations. I've really enjoyed watching you do work over the past 2 years and look forward to seeing what you two together. And I hope that it is a unanimous vote for Ms. Vinker for Vice Mayor. Congratulations.
Our next speaker is Bruce H.
Good evening, council members. Bruce Hodge from Carbon-Free Palo Alto. I'm here tonight to enthusiastically support Vicki Vinker to be our new vice mayor. Vicki's commitment to climate issues is solid. She now chairs the City Council's ad hoc SCAP committee and has recently been appointed to the vice chair of the Bay Area Air Quality Management District Board of Directors, where she strongly favors stringent health-based rules for emissions producing devices such as water heaters and furnaces. She has shown herself to be quite conscientious as a public servant, and it's to her credit that we've had many thoughtful and productive conversations. In my view, she has a proven ability to listen and bring together sometimes divergent viewpoints into a shared understanding of effective solutions. As Palo Alto moves forward with the implementation of its ambitious climate goals, we need focused leadership from the City Council now more than ever. And I say that every year, I think. This is a complex topic with many threads, and Vicki will be an able advocate of approaches that are thoughtful and impactful. Vicki's engagement on other issues is equally thoughtful and energetic. The unfortunate results of our recent national election will place an increased emphasis and need for local and regional actions to counter the misguided approaches being proposed by the new administration. Vicki is well poised to advance a different approach through her leadership in Palo Alto. I respectfully urge you to vote for Vicki Vinker for Vice Mayor. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker is Bing W.
Good evening and Happy New Year. My pristine Palo Alto City Council members. My name is Bing Wei. I'm here as the Park and Rec Commissioner for 2.5 years and Neighbors Board member for 8 years and resident for 20 years. I'm thrilled to support Vicki Vinker as our Vice Mayor. So I have the privilege to work with Vicki through my Park and Rec second year, and I have learned tremendously for her dedication, clarity, and very well thoughtful comments in all our projects and work plan. And I also really enjoyed getting involved with the historical moment of set up Sibley City USA, expanding our Palo Alto Neighbors Board from international to local. And we learn tremendously each other, including the park. And as a professional with global career and also our role model women leadership, and I really want to see the unanimous vote for her to be on board. With the new administration in the federal level, 2025, we need somebody who have global leadership and also focus on local issues, both in the environmental and also climate change. I believe with such a seasoned public servant allowing our new mayor, you both will make a perfect partner. And also with such an incredible council member here, you will lead us forward. Last but least, I want to congratulate all the new members for the City Council, George Liu, Keith Redhall, and congratulations, the re-elected Stone and Pat, who are all my mentors. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Brendan G.
Hello. Hi, everyone. My name is Brendan Jang. I'm a junior at Palo Alto High School. Firstly, I want to congratulate Mayor Lowing on his new election. Very happy. And thank former Mayor Stone for his wonderful service this past year and hopefully for the future as well. And also congratulate the new council members, Councilmember Liu and Councilmember Rectal. I want to come here to highlight that as a student, Councilmember Vicky Vinker's generosity with her time, her expertise, and her kindness. So I serve on the Palo Alto Student Climate Coalition, and we were at a climate event at Mitchell Park. And not only did Vicky Vinker show up, but she biked there. She doesn't just preach climate values, and she lives them in her lifestyle. She was also graciously offered her time to be interviewed for my documentary on fast fashion, which went on to be screened in New York and won first place in C-SPAN's National Student Cam competition. I know, and again, we couldn't have done it without you and Mr. Stone. And I also want to highlight the fact that she uplifted students in the Career Speaker Series, giving her time to talk to hundreds of students in our Performing Arts Center about careers and the illustrious career that she's had, showing students there are multiple ways to go through life and be successful. And even more than that, through her organization, Sibling Cities, we were able to give the opportunity to so many student facilitators to gain valuable experience in public speaking and leadership to help host these important conversations about voting and housing. Anyways, I don't want to use too much of the time, so thank you very much. And I just want to support, hopefully, our new Vice Mayor, Vicky Vinker. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Aram J.
Vicky, as unhappy as I am that Ed Lowing is becoming our next mayor, I'm very happy to see you as our vice mayor. I would have liked to have seen Julie Lithcott Haynes on the ticket with you. I already expressed my being disconcerted by the fact that Ed Lowing jumped over you and Julie to become the mayor. But in any event, I have to live with that. I'm a proud Jew, and I would have liked to have heard you speak out more against the genocide that continues to go on in Palestine. I'm going to continue to push you to do that. We have a genocide. We are killing people as we speak.
Mr. James, please stay on the subject, which is the
I
nominations at
am
hand.
on the subject. I am on the subject of what I'd like to see our vice mayor do in the future. I'm right on point, Mr. Lowing, but I appreciate your intervention here. I want you, Vicky, to continue to evolve on the issue of the genocide that's going on in Palestine. I want you to call the mayor on this. Beth Am, where he stands as a member of the synagogue, is vilely in support of the terrorist state of Israel. And I need to move you in the direction of challenging him, challenging you all to bring up the ceasefire resolution, not let the Israeli speaking points dominate the conversation in 2025. And I know you have the ability to listen and to evolve. I would also want to thank Julie Lithcott Haynes for being the one member of the city council who, again, I think should have been on the ticket with you for speaking out against the genocide bravely and in the face of all the things all the challenges that she had this year. She will make a great vice mayor next year. So I'm pushing for Julie as we go forward on this. Thank you very much for your time tonight.
And that concludes public comment on item 2, election of the 2025 vice mayor.
Thank you very much. If there are no comments, we can move to a vote.
All right, given that there was only one nomination, we will do the vote by roll call. So nomination for Councilmember Vinker as vice mayor for 2025. Councilmember Stone?
Yes.
Councilmember Burt?
Yes.
Councilmember Vinker?
Yes.
Councilmember Lithcott Haynes?
Yes.
Councilmember Liu?
Yes.
Councilmember Rectal?
Yes.
Mayor Lowing?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
I think I did a little better. What you think? Oh.
Okay, this is your leadership team for 2025. And the reporters can now make their deadlines. And I'd like to say just a few things tonight to kick off this year. This is not a night for a state of the city, and it's not a night for me to extol on all my hopes for the year. But having been mayor now for about 15 minutes, I'd really like to go right back to work, which probably doesn't surprise anybody, and share my point of view on two areas which I think are just really important for this council and our residents to focus on as we do our work this year. One of them is strategic direction, which unrehearsed was brought up by Councilmember Burt. And the other is the role of citizens in our work, which also unrehearsed was brought up by Vice Mayor Vinker. We have a massive list of things that we would like to accomplish in the next sort of 1 to 3 years. And after thinking about this a lot and consulting with my colleagues, I've concluded that there's only one way to get this done. And that's that we have to double the number of projects that we undertake. We have to double the pace that we get it done. We have to raise an immediate $1 billion fund to partly fund it. And we can't add any city staff. Now, I haven't discussed this yet with the city manager. I'm kind of expecting a little pushback. In all seriousness, that's what this council would really like to do. We would really like to do all that stuff all the time for the citizens. That's not an exaggeration in terms of where our heart is. But I think that we have to be a little bit more realistic. So our job is to lead responsibly. And my call to action back to reality is that I think we just have to very rigorously prioritize the critical strategic issues and focus our resources on those. We need to sort of prioritize up and set the optimal priorities and then stay disciplined on council with this approach during the year and probably more. And we really, really need the support of our citizens in that on that approach as well. We are getting citizen input on key priorities right now online in anticipation of our January 25th annual retreat, where I hope some of you will come. It is a public setting for you to participate in. So some of you might be saying, so the city does this every year, look ahead and tries to be responsible. So is it different? And I think it is in two distinctive ways. One is that we have to solve some very complex problems with unusually high funding needs. And just a few examples, which most of you know about: electric grid modernization to address climate change, affordable housing funding to help finance the hundreds of below market houses we need for our citizens, construction of possible Caltrain grade separations, area plans for developing housing in the downtown area and along San Antonio, and a Cubberley Community Center strategic plan now to help voters decide to help with that funding in a year or so. So that's the first thing. The second thing that's different, which is good, but I really want to emphasize this. We've already committed incremental ongoing dollars to a lot of other priorities. I believe that protecting our citizens is the fundamental priority of local government. And this council in the last couple of years has correctly invested in that priority. And they've done that. We've done that to increase pandemic depleted staff positions in police and fire. We made great progress on it. To do that, we did a lot of things, but one of them was raise salary to be more competitive in our region to attract and retain staff. It's a perfect example to me of investing in the right strategic priority, and we have a successful outcome. But this isn't a one-time capital funding project. We now have higher fixed costs for public safety staff locked into our budgets every year. And those dollars should stay there to keep protecting our residents. But they can't be used other places. So that's my first point is let's just, kind of stick to our knitting, come up with the top priorities and be disciplined. The second point, equally important, a slightly different subject, is that local government to me is a classic three-legged stool. Council leads the city on policy and priorities. City staff executes to achieve objectives, and all our work is done for you, the citizens. And our citizens need to give us input and also know what the heck we're doing. So active communication with you as our residents is just that needs to be a very high bar for city performance. I want to point out, there's no disagreement on this by staff. They totally agree with that. We're completely aligned on that. And it's just that, you don't like to find out late in the process that something is going on that impacts your neighborhood or your house. And council and city staff don't want that either. City staff already, even this year, has added more outreach and more things to communicate, including the forums that we started where we go into the neighborhoods on weekends with senior staff present and accounted for to comment in neighborhoods, which I think has been terrific. I've been to a number of them. But sometimes we still miss the boat on fully informing our residents. Sometimes even while we're asking you for your input, we do that. And the example I'm thinking about is the unfortunate example this year of the survey on possible long-term changes in the Palo Alto airport. That created a lot of unnecessary surprise and stress for lots of residents. And we all agree on that, including the city folks. It just didn't work out. So we just need to do better in our communication by clarifying survey objectives and presenting possible timeframes for city actions and so on. I hear about these shortfalls all the time from residents, sometimes in committee meetings, always in my inbox, and sometimes in the grocery store. And that's good. I want to hear about that. It's easy. I like to interact with the citizens and hear this firsthand. I talked with a fellow the other day that is pretty well informed on city issues. And he said that, it's just sad that we're not making more progress on housing construction. Well, that's just simply incorrect because we are making great progress on that. But I guess we're not telling the story. So that's up to us to get to you with the results of some of these things that we're doing. So I just like to take the city this year to take a deeper dive on ways to host additional forums, to report out to you on upcoming issues or news announcements, or actually even what's happening on projects that we have approved. We talk to you a lot about when we're setting them up, but not so much when they're approved and out and getting done. And in fact, I'd like to see us overachieve on that goal if we can. So for tonight, I'll close by saying that I'm just very optimistic about what this group of 7 people can pull off this year. I state that completely sincerely. I think it's going to be a really good year. And as we start our 2025 work tomorrow morning, I'm energized. To quote an outstanding former president, I'm fired up and ready to go. So here we go. Thank you very much. Okay, Madam Clerk.
All right, Mayor, we'll be moving to our special orders of the day, I believe. All right. Our next item is item 3, which is the adoption of a resolution expressing appreciation for outstanding public service to Lydia Koo as mayor and council member.
And our colleague and former mayor is going to be reading that proclamation for Councilmember Koo.
Thank you. Absolute honor to be able to do so for my friend and sadly former colleague. But resolution expressing appreciation and gratitude to Lydia Koo for serving on city council. All right, and it's a long one, so if you need to take a break, Don't blame you. But there's been a lot that Councilmember Koo has accomplished. So whereas Lydia Koo was first elected to the Palo Alto City Council in 2016, was re-elected in 2020, served as vice mayor in 2022, and as mayor in 2023. And whereas Lydia represented the city council on many regional bodies, such as the Cities Association of Santa Clara County, SFO Community, and Santa Clara/Santa Cruz Counties Airport Roundtables, Santa Clara County Emergency Operational Area Council, Valley Water, Cities Association of Santa Clara County, Legislative Action Committee, Silicon Valley Regional Interoperability Authority, Valley Transportation Authority, Policy Advisory Committee, Santa Clara County House Task Force, Caltrain Local Policymaker Group, Santa Clara County Planning Office, Stanford Community Resource Group, League of California Cities, Peninsula Division. And whereas Lydia served on the City Council's Finance, Policy and Services, Rail, City/Schools, Council and CAO committees, and as council liaison to the city's Library Advisory, Human Resources, Parks and Recreation, Public Arts Commission, Historic Resources Board, and also served as the council liaison to the Business Association of California Avenue, Palo Alto Downtown Business and Professional Association, Avenidas, Lytton Gardens, Palo Alto Transportation Management Agency, Alcove Palo Alto Community Consortium, and Friends of the Children's Theater. And whereas Lydia became intimately familiar with regional airplane noise patterns and pollution, and for years advocated for the city's interests with local, regional, and national bodies such as Sky Posse, the SFO Roundtable and Airport Authority, SJC Airport Advisory Committee, Santa Clara and Santa Cruz Counties Airport Roundtable, and the FAA. And whereas Lydia has been a staunch supporter of small businesses and retail protection in Palo Alto, often visiting and informing merchants of upcoming impactful decisions by City Council. And whereas Lydia has been an unwavering advocate for the voice, authority, and self-determination of Palo Alto's residents in shaping their community's future, quality of life, natural and built environment, and land use planning and development control, as witnessed by the resolution of the Council of the City of Palo Alto expressing support for actions to further strengthen local democracy, authority, and control as related to local zoning and housing issues. That was resolution number 9942, which originated from a colleague's memo. And whereas Lydia created diversity events, which highlights and celebrates the many cultural traditions represented by Palo Altans, such as the first Chinese New Year, Diwali, and Holi celebrations in the Barron Park neighborhood, and organized over 30 engaging events online during the COVID-19 pandemic to celebrate AAPI Heritage Month. And whereas Lydia has been a consistent and proactive proponent of the Roth Building as a community asset, where the Palo Alto Museum can collect and relate our city's history of innovation. And whereas Lydia advocated for the inclusion of environmental preservation, protection, and furthering biodiversity and the natural environment into the climate change and sustainability plan. Additionally, Lydia has staunchly insisted that parks and open space must be easily accessible by all, including people with developmental disabilities, that mature trees be preserved and trees are planted by ratio to population, and artificial light pollution at night should be minimized. And whereas Lydia co-authored the proposal for the city's first safe vehicle and RV parking plan, championed approval of the 88-unit transitional housing project at 1237 San Antonio Road, the 50-unit rental deeply affordable housing for special needs, including services and programs at 525 East Charleston Road, and supported the 58-unit deeply affordable rental housing for special needs at 3705 El Camino Real. And whereas Lydia has been a strong advocate of Palo Alto's most vulnerable residents, including promoting increased rental protections, co-authoring Palo Alto's emergency just cause eviction proposal, and tirelessly supporting La Comida's ability to continue serving low-income seniors, particularly during the time it had no stable location in the downtown area. And whereas Lydia helped lead the former Fry site negotiation that yielded the city over 3 acres of land dedicated for future affordable housing and parkland, and also memorialized the contributions of Mr. Thomas Funchu, the Chinese proprietor, innovator, and businessman who owned and operated the original building as a cannery and was major employer in Palo Alto. And whereas Lydia has actively and continually pressed for adequate fire and light safety and emergency medical services based on her prior leadership as an emergency services volunteer and trainer for the city, considering input from city businesses, residents, and city firefighters. And whereas Lydia has continually supported our police department operations, including improving hiring and retention practices and the addition of mental health experts to de-escalate crises. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Council of the City of Palo Alto does hereby honor and highly commend Lydia for her 8 years of outstanding public service and records the appreciation of the Council, residents, and businesses for her meritorious service, integrity, passion, and deep commitment to our city as a Palo Alto mayor and council member. Thank you, Lydia.
The next special order is item number 4, adoption of a resolution expressing appreciation for outstanding public service to Greg Tanaka as a council member. Who's reading that? My predecessor made these
Julie.
decisions, so. Oh, okay, great. Do you have it?
Christine's bringing it.
A resolution expressing appreciation and gratitude to Greg Lynn Tanaka for serving on City Council. Whereas Greg Lynn Tanaka was first elected to the Palo Alto City Council in 2016 and was reelected in 2020. And whereas throughout his tenure, Greg worked with diverse stakeholder groups such as the Friends of the Palo Alto Junior Museum and Zoo, Historic Resources Board, Human Relations Committee, Lytton Gardens, VTA Grand Boulevard, Valley Water District, Palo Alto Unified School District Board of Education, Rail Committee, Silicon Valley Board of Realtors, Art Commission, Art Center Foundation, Transportation Management Association, and so many others, while balancing neighborhood interests with economic vitality. And whereas Greg demonstrated his commitment to transparency and accessibility by hosting his famous Sunday night weekly office hour sessions throughout his tenure to provide residents an open channel to engage with a council member, voice their concerns, share feedback, and discuss community issues in a collaborative and approachable setting, ensuring their voices were heard in council deliberations. And whereas, in response to the challenges posed by the pandemic, Greg worked diligently to support efforts aimed at revitalizing the local economy. As liaison to the Chamber of Commerce, the Downtown Business and Professional Association, and other key organizations, he focused on fostering collaboration and encouraging growth in the city's tech and innovation sectors. Greg emphasized data-driven decision-making to promote effective resource allocation and supported fiscally responsible policies. And whereas Greg has consistently advocated for innovative engineering solutions that promote equitable access and drive Palo Alto toward the latest technologies. His work is focused on improving the quality of life for residents by advancing sustainable and inclusive solutions. Greg has worked to strengthen Palo Alto's position as a center for technology and innovation by encouraging the inclusion of software development in the city's comprehensive plan and organizing educational webinars to inform the community about technological advancements and challenges. And whereas Greg has contributed to enhancing Palo Alto's livability by supporting projects like the California Avenue Streetscape Project, which improved pedestrian and bicycle access. He also advocated for the closure of California Avenue to vehicular traffic, helping to create a vibrant public space that benefited local businesses. Additionally, Greg proposed transportation initiatives, including a scooter share program to address last mile challenges. And whereas Greg chaired the Finance Committee and Policy and Services Committee, championing fiscal responsibility, transparency, and innovative governance. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Palo Alto does hereby honor and express its gratitude to Councilmember Greg Lynn Tanaka for his long-term public service and records the appreciation of the council, residents, and businesses for his service and commitment as a Palo Alto council member. Congratulations, Councilmember Tanaka, and thank you.
Item number 5 is adoption of a resolution expressing appreciation for outstanding public service to Greer Stone as mayor in 2024. And I have the honor of reading that on his behalf. I'm very happy I'm reading this about him departing from mayor as opposed to departing from the dais. Greer Stone was first elected to the Palo Alto City Council in 2020 and reelected in 2024. Serving as vice mayor in 23 and mayor in 24. Whereas Greer is a committed advocate for youth mental health and well-being. Soon after becoming mayor, Greer Stone formed the Youth Mental Health and Well-being Task Force. This task force is comprised of mental health experts from Stanford University, PAUSD, the City of Palo Alto, nonprofit organizations, and students from the community, all working together to address youth mental health service gaps. And whereas on February 22, 24, Greer Stone hosted Victoria, Crown Princess of Sweden, and Lieutenant Governor Eleni Koulakis at the Green Transition Summit, along with other global leaders, in an effort to urge Silicon Valley and the world to prioritize sustainable technology and lead the charge towards shaping a sustainable future. And whereas Mayor Stone convened a diverse advisory group and hosted a series of meetings involving members from both sides of the Israel-Hamas war debate, Greer Stone, along with his council colleagues, issued a unity statement on May 6, 2024. The goal of the statement was to promote understanding, empathy, and open the door to healing within the community. And whereas Mayor Stone helped the city navigate an unusually challenging year by providing steadfast leadership and fearlessly standing up against those who incited fear and division in Palo Alto, he defiantly spoke out against all form of hate and championed policy to reduce incidents of hate speech during public meetings like tonight, in order to create a space where all residents feel safe and included. And whereas under Greer Stone's leadership, one of the council's priorities for 2024 is housing for social and economic balance. In 2024, the state of California certified Palo Alto's 23 to 31 housing element. This certification is pivotal, as the housing element will guide future housing production, as well as housing-related programs and policies. And whereas Mayor Stone visited Palo Alto's sister cities of Tsukara, Japan, Albi, France, and Heidelberg, Germany, and hosted delegations from these and other sister cities around the world. These efforts aim to foster stronger and more prosperous relationships globally. And whereas Greer's tenure as mayor exemplifies his integrity, passion, and dedication to the betterment of Palo Alto, its residents, and its business community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the City Council of Palo Alto does hereby honor and commend Greer Stone for his outstanding public service and records the appreciation of the council, residents, and businesses for his meritorious service and commitment as a Palo Alto mayor, signed by all current council members. Thank you. Mayor Stone. Councilmember Ku and Tanaka, would you like to come up for one last photo on the dais?
Sure.
I wasn't expecting that. It's nice. That's why you're doing this, kid. I said, hang that one up. Or- You're going there. Yeah, let's. Yeah. Hold the proclamation. Right here, Jim. Great. Great.
Yes. Thank you. Hold on, Greg. Did you get it? You got it?
One more. There'll be more. More. Someone wasn't too quick. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Yes. I don't know. Do you invite them to make some comments?
If either of the retiring council members would like to use the microphone, we would certainly welcome that.
And Mayor Lowing, sorry to interrupt, just a reminder that we will need to take a motion on all three separately as well as a vote.
Keep reminding me of those things. That's good. Did you want to speak?
Thank you so much, Mayor Lowing, and congratulations, Vice Mayor Vinker, and also congratulations to Councilmember Rectal as well as Councilmember Liu. I just want to say it's been a pleasure serving, and I want to thank you for reading that very exhaustive proclamation. I was getting tired listening to it, all the committees that I was on. But again, it has been a great journey. I want to say to the members of the public and to the residents, thank you so much. Mostly, it's been transformational for me, having been on council and understanding the inner workings. But also, I really appreciate all the support throughout the years. When a topic comes up, we have members in our community who can actually help. Thank you, Nadia. Thank you, Marie Jo and Darlene, Winter. There's so many more that I want to name, but I don't know if I can. I kind of am keeping you from the food and drinks, so I will stop. But when I came to council on my first day, I brought my trustee chart, and it is really to remind us, who are we serving? And I am delighted to hear that our mayor has said that, it's always about the community, the residents of Palo Alto. So I'm delighted to hear that, but I will hold you to it, all of you, because at the end of the day, it is our organization chart, which is for us to hear residents and to work on their behalf. So I want to say thank you again for taking me on this journey, and I'm in town, so don't think I'm gone. Thank you. And I'll give the chart to you.
Councilmember Tanaka?
Thank you, Mayor, colleagues, former colleagues, Really appreciate it. The resolution, I thank you, Councilmember Lescott Haynes, for reading that. You're such an amazing speaker. I really appreciate that as well. You know, when I first joined council back in 2016, I made the commitment to be accessible to the community. And that's when I started my office hours. I didn't know if anyone would show up. And to my surprise, I logged something like 820 hours of office hours. And I'm hoping some of the new council members will kind of pick up the pace on that. And I think it's a cornerstone of being a representative of government. You have to understand what's important to the community. And I've heard every issues from, like a cat adoption thing in Stafford Mall to, what, who knows what. And I think that serving to me has been a real honor. I really, I'm grateful for the community to put the trust in me to do that. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate the chance to actually solve some of the issues that the community faced, whether it was the economic situation from our retail businesses or transportation issues. And I know that on council, I've been the one to really berate staff, and I appreciate staff for putting up with it, on really trying to be fiscally conscientious. I think it's important. We should spend the money like it's our own money. Our city, while it's full of very wealthy residents, not all of us are wealthy, and I think it's important that we make sure that the community is affordable to all that live here. And I also want to thank all staff. You guys have been amazing for the past. I've been on also Planning and Transportation Commission for 2 terms as well, so I've been kind of in this room for a lot. And really want to thank all the staff members that have helped me. Really appreciate it. Your work is deeply appreciated. And I had a lot of people that helped me, from the people who helped electing me, but I also had over 100 interns. I think I counted them, over 100 interns over the course of my 8 years. And these people have gone on to do amazing things. And so I want to thank all of those who have helped me, and maybe some of the council members here will also give people a chance to serve. And so I just want to end it to thank the community for giving me this chance to serve. For me growing up, I never really thought about politics. I always kind of was very dismissive about it. And I never really realized how much you put into it, right? I mean, when I actually served on council, I realized how hard it really is and how much effort you have to put into it. And so I'm really grateful for you guys to be up there today, and not me, because it is a lot of work. And for those in the community that don't realize it, your elected officials do a lot of work, and I'm now incredibly grateful for that, for the members that do serve, anyone that does serve. So while my time on council is coming to an end, I just want to thank everyone, my fellow council members, community, staff, for the honor to serve. And thank you so much.
As you know, these meetings are not routine when we make this transition, and it's very significant to the remaining and new members on council. When someone rolls off like they have, we've lost 16 years of institutional knowledge now with the 2 council members rolling off. So that's a substantial institutional knowledge loss. But we'll bring the newbies up to speed really fast to try to back up that. If any council members feel that they'd like to comment on behalf of either the departing council members, they could do that at this point. Okay. Then that concludes that section of the agenda. Oh, sorry, except for the motion.
So we can go ahead and take motions for item 3, which is the resolution expressing appreciation to Lydia Koo.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All right, I'll go ahead and take the vote. Councilmember Liu,
Yes.
Councilmember Lithcott Haynes,
Yes.
Councilmember Stone,
Yes.
Councilmember Vinker,
Yes.
excuse me, Vice Mayor Vinker, Councilmember Rectal,
Yes.
Mayor Lowing,
Yes.
and Councilmember Burton.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously. All right, we can take motions for the resolution expressing appreciation to Greg Tanaka.
So moved. Second.
All right, taking the vote. Councilmember Tanaka? Oh my goodness, so sorry. Councilmember Lithcott Ames?
Yes.
Councilmember Rectal?
Yes.
Mayor Lowing?
Yes.
Councilmember Burton?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Vinker?
Yes.
Councilmember Lou?
Yes.
Councilmember Stone?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously. Now a motion to adopt the resolution expressing appreciation for Gerstone as 2024 mayor.
So moved.
Second.
Vice Mayor Vinker?
Yes.
Mayor Lowing?
Yes.
Councilmember Stone?
Yes.
Councilmember Lou?
Yes.
Councilmember Rectal?
Yes.
Councilmember Burt?
Yes.
Councilmember Lithcott Ames?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Just one example of how this year is going to work. 3 quick unanimous votes. Next up. Okay, so I think we're moving to public comment on items that are not on the agenda. That script here. Let's see.
And Mayor, if I might suggest, given that we do have a good number of speakers, do we want to give the audience an ability to start the reception while we hear from on the public comment?
That wasn't the plan. For that reason is that we thought that we should all go out together. So this is a lot of comments for a procedural meeting. Let's see if we can do these, given that it's a procedural meeting, let's see if we can do these in 1 minute.
Our first speaker is Darlene Y.
Thank you, former council member Koo, for your exceptional leadership, dedication, and unwavering commitment. Your efforts in addressing aviation impacts have positively affected all of us. As a token of my gratitude, I've created a coveted limited edition medal in your honor. Thank you for all you've done, and welcome to Council Member Lou and Rectal, and thank you, outgoing Mayor Greer, Stone, and Council Member Tanaka. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Alex K.
Good evening. My name is Alex Kobayashi, and I'm here on behalf of State Senator Josh Becker. We wanted to thank Councilmember Koo for her service. We have a resolution from Senator Becker, Assemblymember Berman, that we want to present to her. I won't read it. Obviously, it's long and I have a minute. So thank you so much, and just thank you for your service.
Our next speaker is Kevin F., followed by Nicholas H.
Good evening, Kevin Fong on behalf of Assemblymember Mark Berman. Pleasure to be with you this evening as we honor and recognize our outgoing council members. I'm going to keep the train rolling because I know not to stand between people and the reception. And so on behalf of Senator Becker and Assemblymember Berman, we have a resolution we'd like to present to outgoing Councilmember Greg Tanaka.
Our next speaker is Nicholas H., followed by Terry H.
Good evening, Council. On behalf of Congressman Sam Liccardo, I'm happy to congratulate Council members Pat Burt, Greer Stone, George Liu, and Keith Rectal for being elected to serve on the Palo Alto City Council. I would also like to thank former council members Lydia Ku and Greg Tanaka for your dedicated service, and applaud Mayor Lowing and Vice Mayor Venker for being chosen to lead the city. Congressman Liccardo looks forward to working with each of you to serve the city of Palo Alto.
Our next speaker is Terry H., followed by Maura O.
Okay, really quickly, I would like to salute Lydia Ku tonight because one of the things that wasn't talked about is her dedication to our young people. I think I served as a school librarian at Old Carmelo Elementary 2 years ago. And she came out that day, spent numerous hours willing to sit down and talk to my students about government and the service they provide. I also want to mention how many of the students wanted her autograph. It was amazing. And she stayed there and worked with my students and gave each of them a personal autograph, making sure that she got their name and even got their room number correct. So thank you, Lydia, for all of your service to our city. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Maura O., followed by Lori M.
Good evening, Mayor Lowing, City Council members and staff. My name is Maura Oman. I'm a resident of Palo Alto and the Executive Director of Youth Community Service. I'm here tonight to express gratitude to last year's City Council as a whole. Thank you to Council Member Ku and to Council Member Tanaka for their deep commitment to youth mental health. And I especially want to thank Mayor Stone, past Mayor Stone, for bringing the community together and elevating the discussion about ways to support youth and their mental well-being. With both financial and political commitment, the City of Palo Alto has led the way in creating space for intergenerational dialogue on youth mental health and wellness. We look forward to continued partnership and innovation and innovative ways to continue to show up for our youth. Thank you for your service, Councilmember Stone, and welcome Councilmember Liu and Rector.
Our next speaker is Lori M., followed by John S.
Good evening, Mayor Lowing, Vice Mayor Venker, and council members. My name is Lori Myers. I've been a proud Palo Alto resident for over 40 years. First, congratulations to our new council members, Keith Reckdahl and George Liu. Congratulations also to Council Member Stone and Council Member Burt. Council is better for you being on it, so thank you for continuing your service. Congratulations to Mayor Lowing and Vice Mayor Venker. We are very fortunate to have your leadership and your experience leading our city forward. I'd like to take a moment to express my deep gratitude to Greg Tanaka and Lydia Ku for their service, and especially for Lydia, who led us during a very trying time in the city, and that's when a person's true character shows through. Your leadership is all about compassion, integrity, and focus on what's best for our community. You are a model of leading with grace and empathy. Thank you for all you've done and for all I know you'll continue to do. And to all of, I think I'm out of time, but to all of council, I work with a lot of different advocacy groups across the state, and you set an example for accessibility, care, and compassion. Thank you for all you do, and I'm looking forward to a great 2025.
Our next speaker is Bing W., followed by Jonathan. Oh, sorry, John S., followed by Bing W.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to the council, especially on the members that have worked with my wife over the last 8 years. After hearing that proclamation, then it kind of made sense to me why I never saw her. So I get to get my wife back, which is nice. But those who have worked with Lydia, you may not be aware of how much she learned from you. You know, she's I watched her grow from day one, and I obviously being the husband, I knew that she could do whatever she wanted to achieve. And each and every one of you have contributed to helping her grow, and I thank you for that. And baby, welcome home.
Good evening, Spring again, Mayor Lowing and Vice Mayor Vicky Winker. Congratulations to both. So I just want to express gratitude to all the three because I had the privilege to work with them all. And thanks, Lydia Koo, when I was first served the Neighbors Board, 2016, you were the liaison. And it was all your support. And at that time, Mayor Pat Bird, we made it happen to make Palo Alto and Sister City with Yangpu, the district that went to boarding school. And first time in actually US-China Sister City history, a district of the city and a proper city over here, and to promote innovation. And also, Greg Tanaka had the privilege to work with you for the Stop Asian Hate. We started a rally, which have over 1,000 people attendance. And last but not least, I learned so much for Mayor Stone, Councilmember Stone. It's very hard to change. Especially, it's heartwarming to see how you put together a focus on youth mental health. When the tragic happened early this 2024, how you operate. I'm really, really, truly grateful you're here for us. I'm glad you're still here. Thank you, all three of you. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Jonathan E.
Last time we had an election, we had this meeting, it was super long and I waived my chance to do public comment. And I didn't want to do it this time just because I want to reinforce that I think public comment is really important for the council. And there's been challenges with public comment, I think, in the last several years. And I think the council still needs to embrace that. And there's a discussion to be had about responding to that, because normally, you don't respond to public comments at all. And it's difficult when somebody says something so hateful that they get a response, even if it's to condemn them. I'm not sure if that's the way to go, because at what level does it become somebody says so hateful they get a response, or somebody says something so good, then do they get a response? Anyway, so in closing, I just want to bring up something positive to remember on, which is that recently this month, June Fleming passed away earlier this month, and I hope that during the coming times that the city and the council will find appropriate ways to honor her and her incredible service. And even if people didn't know or work with her, just reading her biography alone shows you.
Your time is up.
Thank you.
And that concludes public comment on items not on the agenda.
Thank you very much. And thanks to all your work, the city clerk, for preparing this meeting and for what we're about to see. I previewed it before. It looks pretty good. So if there are any other council member comments, seeing none, we can adjourn this meeting and go to the reception. Welcome special welcome to the family of the new council members.